Hello dear students, welcome in this online sessions of the lecture related to the 10th standard and the lesson which we started already in the previous lecture, that was related to the Indian agriculture. Now in the previous lecture, my dear student, we studied about the general basic concept of the agricultural development and the farming also. Now this all the systematic thing you will see in my previous lecture, lecture number 1, because this is part number 2, that is the lecture part 2. And the page number you need to focus is the 80 page number. The lesson which is actually the lesson which is relating the economical development of India and the agricultural benefits of India is actually describing you the basic information and the detailed information related to agriculture and the agriculture products too here, which we are actually discussing here in this live lecture. Now as I said you my dear student, the wheat, maize, other barley, ragi or whatever the crops inside the first section or inside the first lecture of the first part of this same lesson may have proved that the agriculture products and the crops in India are different according to the different zone. Also they are very varying from the area wise. If I talk about just because of 5 factor: availability of the rain, fertilization of the soil, availability of the seed and fertilizers, economical condition of the state farmers, and also we can say that okay, what amount of government is actually focusing with the natural resources production and the providing towards this kind of resources. Therefore we can say that okay, this total relation of the lecture is depending upon the agricultural resources and the products also. So today's topic is depending upon the pulses. Not only the pulses, we'll go for the pulses, oil seeds, groundnuts, etc, etc and etc. Therefore we can say that okay, pulses are the main source of protein if you talk about related for the vegetarian people, because non-veg people can be getting extra amount of protein, carbs, fiber, or we can say like omega 3, omega 2, omega 6 or vitamins and all from the other different kinds of we can say flesh objects, also flesh eatable materials too here. But here we're talking about the tuver, moong, then gram, peas, bees and murt, urad. Then here if you talk about the other people also who are actually relating for the veg family, vegetarian family, can be actually getting these kinds of protein from this kinds of pulses only. Now what are the crops are the pulses actually? Pulses are actually coming inside the rabi crops. Therefore we can say pulses are grown in all the states, but somehow we can say the states which are like receiving not more amount of rainfall, that states are unable to grow these kinds of pulses in the heavy amount. Therefore we can say major pulses are actually produced inside the states, and they are also like Madhya Pradesh, then we can say other Rajasthan, then somehow Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and all. Some amount of rainfall is needed. Now if the no amount of rainfall is there, then it is not possible to grow the pulses here. Now if we talk about Gujarat, chalo, let's talk about the Gujarat, because this syllabus is all about the Gujarat board. Then we need to understand that in the Gujarat the tuver is sown more in the Vadodara. Along with that we can say moong and murt are also related with the factor of production to the Kutch and the Kutch district too here, and we can say urad in the Patan is especially grown. The nitrogen is actually reinsisted inside the soil due to we can say growth of this kinds of crops. That's why in the previous lecture I said you that 2 of the heavy crops must be having one pulse crop before their sowing, because one heavy crop then do the pulses, again it will generate the nitrogen, then again you are ready for the heavy crop. So we need to get the pulses also in between of the 2 heavy crops production, because it can greatly boost up this kinds of we can say this kinds of activities inside the soil. Therefore soil can be becoming fertile at the time of we can say growing other heavy crops too here. See, whenever I'm talking about the heavy crops, you need to focus on the wheat, maize, barley or other kind of paddy too here. Now oil seeds are also very important my dear students. See, as I made it to understand this kinds of farming, oil seeds are also important. Which kinds of oil seeds are there and why they are important, that also we'll study in this lecture. For example, soya bean oil, you have seen castor, mustard oil, sunflower, etc, etc. Groundnuts oil are also there, which are also used for the edible source of eatable we can say extraction from the farm to the kitchen. Now we can say remaining oil cakes are also used as an animal fodders as well. It is also used as the biotic we can say component as a manure too here. So as you know that groundnut is produced inside the Gujarat too here, which is an important part of the resources relating to the oil. Apart from that, it is also needed in the black soil, and also we can say mixture of loamy and sandy soil is helping to produce these kinds of groundnuts here. Now 20 to 25 degree temperature we need to produce a groundnut. It can be coming a question inside your final exam, that write a detail about the groundnuts or observe the picture for the detail. So that's how we can say. It can be also sown during the summer season. Now Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, etc. are major producers of the groundnuts and all. So this is the basic thing where we can say India is ranking second with the production of the groundnuts, and China in the world groundnut is actually producing in a large amount here. So we are comparing ourselves with the China. We should not compare with the China. So if you know about this kinds of cropping, then we need to also know that these kinds of croppings are only one of the things which is helping us for this kinds of cropping related to the oil seeds also. Then you will get groundnuts, then you will get sesame till, which is also known as the oil seeds of India, since from the sages and ages time, my dear students, since from the sages and ages time. And also we can say among the oil seeds, it has containing more amount of oil inside that is the sesame till and all, and it is almost used as an aushadhi also, for the medicinal purpose also, and for the good amount of source of food also. Now which kind of states are actually relating with that? West Bengal, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and other part of Gujarat is also relating with this kinds of the oil seeds, which is also known as the sesame. Now if we talk about the Gujarat, then we can say Banaskantha is also produced this amounts of sesames and all. Maximum export is done towards the world also by the India, and laterally we can say mustard is also related with that, coconut is also related with that. As you know that mustard in the Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and mustard is the oil seed which is mostly used for the medicine purpose and for the other purpose also. But somehow the northeastern part of the India is using this mustard oil as the food oil also to prepare their food, like Kerala, Tamil people, we can say Malayali people, Karnataka, or we can say Andaman and Nicobar side. If you'll go there, then you will find that coconut oil is used for the vegetable purpose also, for the cooking purpose also, and for the general purpose too here. Though in the Gujarat we use groundnut oil, but in the Kerala they use the coconut oil only. So that is the basic relation of this kinds of lesson related to the coconut and the other oil too here. So castor oil is also related with that. What is castor? It is known as divela. It is known as divela in the local language, and in the English it is known as the castor oil. So it is actually both crops, kharif crop also, and we can say as well it is one of the rabi crops also. So therefore we can say locally it is actually grown with a 64% in the India, which is the largest producer of the castor also in the world, where China and Brazil comes next respectively too here. Again these Chinese people are coming there. So a part of, we can say about 80% of the production of whole comes from the Gujarat of this castor. Andhra Pradesh, if we talk about, my dear student, Rajasthan and other producers are also there related to the castor. So in the Gujarat district, my dear student, Banaskantha, Patan, then we can say Sabarkantha, other Rajkot, Jamnagar and also Amreli are the great producer of this castor and the castor oil too here, which is also inside the, we can say, heavy amount. Now production is literally consisting the oil and from the oil with the cotton seeds also and the other kinds of things also in the Gujarat. So we can say sunflower oil also we are producing, then cotton oil also it is produced, then we can say maize oil also it is produced, and other edible oils are also related with this factor, same here. So this is the basic thing, relation with the factor of oil. Now if we move further, then we need to understand the beverages. Now what are the beverages? Beverages means tea, coffee and all. Now you all are happy because I'm talking about the tea. Tea is a general thing which is offered in India with the water at the home. Means whenever you actually read these kinds of farmings, whenever you just go with any place, whenever you go to meet any person, any friend of your own, you'll find that they will offer you the tea. So what is this? Actually, it is actually a tropical condition of the we can say of the agriculture, which is actually grown inside the temperate zone, and therefore we can say tea and tea leaves is actually tender and they are sprout and they are very smellful also, very good amount of fragrance is given there. So the powder is made by that, or the small balls are made of the teas, and therefore furthermore it is sold out inside the market. So India produces maximum amount of tea compared to the China after that. Sri Lanka and China and India are the leading tea producers or exporters in the world, where we can say slopey land is needed and the temperature is around, we can say 20 to 30 degrees Celsius it is needed, but the rainfall must be there more than 150 degrees or 150 we can say centimeters, that is it can be going more than 200 centimeters of the rainfall also. Therefore we can say that Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, some part of Tamil Nadu, then Assam, Karnataka, Darjeeling, West Bengal are producing this amount of tea, where we can say West Bengal and Assam are producing producing, or these kinds of states of India are producing around 75% of the tea of the whole nation, and therefore tea is also skillfully plucked out. It is one of the very, we can say, enjoyable beverage in India and in the world. So we need to understand, my dear student, that tea, along with that, we can say some other zone are also related with the coffee. You might have heard about the coffee. Coorg zone is one of the very good place for the coffee, and apart from that, we can say coffee is actually reared over the slopy mountain zone, and also it is grown on the shed, under the shade of large canopies. Canopies means trees, and therefore there is no direct sunlight is falling on that. Thus the coffee leaves are actually sprouting out and giving the coffee beans to here. So therefore we can say this coffee crops need around 150 to 200 centimeter rainfall, where we can say temperature not be exceeding more than 28 degrees Celsius. It must be remaining at the 15 degrees Celsius only. Therefore we can say Tamil Nadu, Coorg and other Karnataka is well known region for the coffee production too here. So देखो my dear student, we need to understand in this lecture we are actually studying about the all concept of coffee, then other kinds of things also. And if we go in the detail, then I can tell you that cotton crop is also one of the basic crop which is actually grown in India, in which we can say that the growing cotton seeds actually needs 20 to 35 centimeter of the temperature, where 30 to 70 centimeter rainfall is also enough to grow the cotton. And laterly we can say these crops are also somehow grown in the part of the India, that is like Haryana, Rajasthan, Punjab, Telangana, or we can say like Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat and all. So therefore cotton is also known as the cash crop of India. Now if I talk about the especially internal Gujarat, then Sabarkantha, Mehsana, Banaskantha, Panchmahal, then we can say like Amreli, Bhavnagar, Patan, Jamnagar, Junagadh districts are the main producer of the cotton, where we can say cotton is holding an important place in the category of the cash crops in India. So this lecture is actually boosting up your knowledge related with the cotton crops, related with the general crops, related with the agriculture, related with the farming, related with the types of farmings and many more kinds of things too here, my dear student. So therefore we can say that if we are taking the name of cotton crop, then we should not forget the sugarcane, we should not forget the jute, and then we should not forget the other remaining crops also along with that, like tobacco which is grown in the Gujarat, rubber is there, then condiments and seeds are also there, fruits and vegetables are there. Technical reforms are also, we can say, working behind this kinds of factor. Whatever the names I actually pronounce right now, you need to go with the detail form, because detail is given inside your textbook here. So how these kinds of croppings are done? What are the basic, we can say, fundamental character of these kinds of croppings to do that? What is the method? See, one thing we need to understand, we are actually going technically on that. So we need to focus that technical reforms are actually differing the farming from the ancient time to the today's time also. Why? Because see, earlier the farming was carried out by the simple and ordinary methods, and the farming implemented like sickle, spade, hoe, and also hoe means powder, and also we can say drill and other kinds of things, bullock carts and all. Today we don't have those kinds of things. Today we have upgraded things. We have threshers, we have we can say plowers, we have big amount of machineries and all. We have cultivators, harvester, and also we have biochemical fertilizers too here, hybrid seeds, berry seeds, and many more kinds of seeds too, which is also somehow, we can say, producing large amount of reforms. So therefore we can say technical reform has played a very important role in the agriculture and the agriculture production here. Technical reforms, if we talk about, then we can say the time has been changing now, and in the place of seeds and all, we use fertilizers, and seed also we use the better implementation of the methods and all. So we can say the farmer who earlier used to leather the bullock carts, pull the bullock carts, are now using submersible pump, so that the water can be harvested directly, water can be irrigated directly towards the farm. The chemical fertilizers like diammonium phosphate, DAP, nitrogen phosphate, that is, and nitrogen phosphorus potash, NPK, and other we can say are used as the biofertilizer also, as the liquid fertilizer also, and biotech fertilizers too here, and that's how we are actually improving well inside the farming too here. Now this is not it, my dear students. See, farmers are actually continuously growing the land, growing the good amount of crops and all, just because they are actually getting awareness from the TV, newspaper, DD Kisan channels. These all things are also given to them. Special Seva Yojanas are also made for the Kisans and all, and somehow we can say SMS facilities on the mobile phone. Kisan toll free number is also given there. If you don't have that number, you must write that 1800 180 1551. That is the Kisan Call Care Center. Okay, once again I'll repeat the number 1800, then 180018015551. That is the Kisan Healthcare number. Here you can also download the applications like iKhedut in your phones, and also we can say that you can also download the agricultural market too here some as an application inside your phone. Therefore you can be connecting with this kind of expertise, and therefore you can be also retaining yourself, you can be also somehow subjecting yourself with this kinds of hybrid farmings and the farming methods also. Now say institutions are also working on that. Besides this, we can say Indian Council of Agriculture Research, ICAR, is working on that. Then Department of Agriculture Research and Education, DAR is also working on that. So lots of kinds of governmental interference is also there, which is helpful for the nation of India. And we can say government has actually, if you talk about institutional reforms, then see government has actually reformed connected with the, we can say, owners, with the crops, with the subsidies and the sale of the crops also, and with the general institutional reforms too here. And that's how we can say that government is taking keen interest in the farming agency in India, especially to boost up here. And the disparity among the land and owners are now removed, and the Land Ceiling Act has been also removed. So all of them are having their own land which is registered on their land, and nobody can grab their land without their permission. So government is actually giving the permission of yojanas too here. As well, we can say when the crop fails due to drought, due to excessive rainfall, forest fire and all, the farmers are given financial help by the government. As well, they are also given some amount of, we can say, open auction process also, which is actually helping them. So somehow we can say that yojanas are made, and also these yojanas are helpful for the government of India also, and the people of India also, the farmers also, and for the market production facilities too here. Therefore we can say that facilities like cooperative sectors of the society are made, market associations are made, then cooperative we can say warehouses are made, cold storage are made, transporting facilities are given, communication centers are built up, and that's how we can say every village, nook, area, corner, city, everything is connected with the basic system of the government, where government is trying 100% to help the farmer of India, but some system is lacking. And that's how my farmers of this nation are either doing suicide or they are just selling their land, which is very shameful condition for the nation. So we need to focus on the grant which is given by the government, and our politicians must be responsible to provide that kind of grants, machineries, special features, we can say, in the economical boosting agents, economical boosting system of the farmers, and also to growing the crops also. Centers should be built up where the farming educational centers are, right now it is working, but more educational must be built out, so that here we can say that exchange in the foreign countries should be imported well. Now see, what is the role of agriculture? You can read the detailed form in your own way. Role of agriculture in the Indian economy, we can say that like it provides employment to all the, we can say, all the people who are relating with the farming and all, and also agriculture is the main occupation in India. These pressurize, or we can say these, the pressure of the agriculture is also given in such a way after the independence that now we are actually going on the line where we need to progress, or we are about to be progressive, about to be get a great progress on the line of agriculture. Also we can say that India is actually ranking second in the world. If you talk about India ranks second in the world in the agriculture production, and industries like cotton, sugar, paper, oil and other kinds of regarding food and processings are also done in India, or they are actually seen in India. So that's how we can say agriculture not only allow and provides the food for the nation, it also gives the better lifestyle of the nation and health of the nation, income source of the nation. And we can say that this is the basic thing which is actually every country needs, that uncertain rain, inadequate facilities of the irrigation water can be seen in India too here. So we need to actually boost up the systematic theory of our agriculture production, and also we can say that agriculture systems too here. So this lecture is all depending upon how to boost up the basic knowledge related to the agriculture and how to get the proper advantage on the agriculture and agriculture production. देखो population is actually, the population was around 36 crore and 10 lakhs. But if you go more further, which is actually exceeding today more than 125 crores. Now this has actually increased in the demand for the food and the food grains also. However, we can say there has been an increase in the production of the food grains. The country actually during the last 5 years we are struggling to recover more. Now 1950, if you talk about from the year of 1950 to 51, generally we can say India has produced around 51 crore tons of the food grains, and that's how which is also increased towards a record level of like we can say 265.4 crore tons since from the year of 2013 to 14. So my dear student, we can say the hunger of the 1,000 families are nowadays about to be somehow subject nowadays about to fulfill. But then also we can say that where the food grains are wasted, the country's resource economical balance and the people their own energy is also we can say wasted. So therefore we can say government has made special provisions to supply the food grains for the FAPI shop also and for the people who are actually coming under the BPL yojanas and all. So that's how we can say that poor people are given the food security by the government, and therefore we can say we are actually growing well inside this area of this agricultural field too. Now these actually impacts on the globalization. Now see, as I made you to understand this lecture, we need to understand what is the basic key factor about the globalization. Dekho, the policy of the globalization has been implemented in such a way that the purpose of Indian farmers can still working on the global, we can say level, on the global market here. Therefore we can say the process of export and import of the production right now has been increasing, and it is very much simple also. If you talk about cotton, if you talk about chilies and other kinds of available, we can say materials can be seen inside the Chinese market too, just because we are doing the globalization. Now due to the farming has imported new technologies, new machineries and all, BT seeds are also sold on the to the multinational companies which is actually produced in India, and along with that we can say costly amount of, we can say like the things which are not afforded by the Indian farmer are now afforded to here. So the domesticating of the, we can say, farming system, animal food, fodder, everything is sustained well here, and therefore we can say that global market, hence it is also supported by India, and it is also supporting to India, and the competition is also one thing which is actually making most of the countries who are the global partner to give the qualitative products. The competition is dealing with that, so it is necessary to register the qualitative product in the participation of the national patent in the world market. Therefore in the future our country's reputation, especially in the production, must not be declining. So we can say that to face the competition, the agriculture products must be working effectively in the global market, and also India will have to be adapt the new technology and concentrate on the basic quality which is actually can be proceeded well, progressed well, and also which should be also, we can say that like qualitatively it should be promoted well. That's only we can be getting the general partners of the global policies and the system too, and the trading business also here. Therefore we can say that with the increase of population we should not forget, my dear student, that we need to improve the facility right now in the future, in the present. That's how our future could be secured out, because the demand for the agriculture, especially in India, though India is the second largest world producer about the agriculture crops, but India is also second rank inside the population. So we need to take care of this also, otherwise limitations can be seen there, or we can say scarcity of the food can be seen there, which can be furthermore affecting toward the progress of Indian economy, and in the progress of, we can say, arrangement of the basic thing also, where we can say again we need to take out the strategy of green revolution, so that we need to go more further. So green revolution was given by Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. So this lecture was still here only, my dear student. I hope you actually got the basic knowledge about this lecture. The topics which I have generally discussed overall should be studied in detail by your side, and this lesson was cleared. This lesson is over by me, so you can get all the doubt and theories cleared by yourself, and you can also get this lesson with the reading purpose, with the writing some important purpose also, because it will also come inside the exam with the great marks here. Till then you can take care until the next lecture of the new lesson is not coming. Jai Hind.